Welcome back. We've just received the full lowdown on this ISIS module. Sit back and listen to these breaking developments as I bring them out to you. The group that was responsible for what happened in Lucknow is called the ISIS Khorasan group. This is a homegrown, self-radicalized group inspired by the ISIS, owing its allegiance to elusive leader Baghdadi. 6 suspects picked up in Uttar Pradesh and MP. They were active on social media and in regular touch with ISIS handlers. Their chats were being monitored like in previous cases. Encrypted chat sites and rooms were being used to hoodwink investigators. These are latest details breaking first on India Today. There's just been a high-level briefing in the Ministry of Home Affairs. We're putting out for the first time just now details from that briefing. The chats of these suspects were being monitored. Suspects got indoctrinated by regularly visiting ISIS social media sites. None of them had ever stepped out of India. How people in 2 states, in Madhya Pradesh and UP, met and planned this attack is still being probed. It is possible. That's what the investigators believe, that they met in an online chat room. The bomb that went off in the train was a standard explosive using metal pipe and procured using locally procured urea to make a bomb. Forensics examination will reveal the true contents. The recruitment happened via chat site. Shafi Amrar is the self-appointed Emir of the Junud al-Khalifa-e-Hind. That's the soldiers of the Indian Caliphate. His name is Shafi Amrar. He's the self-appointed Emir of the Junud al-Khalifa-e-Hind, soldiers of the Indian Caliphate, and the Abu Suleiman. He's the chief recruiter or motivator for the Islamic State. Amar, a fugitive, was first associated with the Indian Mujahideen. He then joined the ISIS. Sultan Amrar, his elder brother, too joined the ISIS but was killed in a drone strike. Amrar is based in Raqqa in Syria. In the past, the NIA has seen Shafi Amrar recruiting, motivating people to join the ISIS. He is active in posting literature and material in support of the ISIS. Unconfirmed reports say that Shafi too died possibly in a drone strike on the 16th of April. These are exclusive details on these ISIS suspects breaking first in India Today. I want to go across for a live update to my colleague Maushmi Singh. She's joining us from Lucknow, from the area where this encounter took place last night. Maushmi, you were up all through the night reporting for us. Give our viewers a sense of what's happening on the ground just now.
Rahul, clearly we've spoken to the IG ATS just now, and he has actually acknowledged that the IS danger is real and present. He did indicate that despite the fact that Saifullah was actually connected to his brother last night, and he spoke to his brother, the ATS tried to cool him off and attempted to get him to surrender. Even then, Saifullah was so radicalized by the IS that he kept on raising the jihad slogan, raising the caliphate slogan, and refused to surrender. He even turned more aggressive at 3 a.m. in the morning, in the wee hours of the morning. That's what the ATS IG has confirmed to us, and that's one reason when they had to actually blow him out, they had to enter the premises. He actually fired very aggressively. Now that's a sign that how far these young youths were radicalized by the IS. And as you said, social media has turned as a very big tool, a terror weapon to radicalize these youths. They haven't gone far off. They are still in India. Despite that, they have been getting regular lessons of Caliphate, of the IS. And the IG also confirmed that this was the Khorasan network that was linked to the IS in Syria and owed allegiance to Baghdadi, and that's one reason that the ATS is taking no chances. Okay. The IG also confirmed that they are also looking at some other loopholes, other suspects who are at large, and would be zeroing down on them.
Okay, stay with me, Maushmi. I want to go across to Kamaljeet Sandhu. She's just been part of a high-level briefing and has the most incisive details into the background of these people. I read out some of those details to you. That's Kamaljeet's story, which we're breaking at this time. Exclusive details on these ISIS suspects. It seems, Kamaljeet, from what you're reporting, that for several days now, several weeks possibly, the Indian intelligence agencies were tracking these people. It's only after that that they finally decided to zero in and move in yesterday. What was the trigger? If they'd been tracked for so long, why is it that yesterday was the day that they decided to move in? Kamaljeet? Okay, give me a moment as I try and fix that connection. She can't hear me just now. I will fix that connection in a moment from now. Just before that, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, spoke earlier this morning about the Madhya Pradesh link to this ISIS attack. Let's listen to what the MP Chief Minister had to say.
हमारी एटीएस मध्य प्रदेश पुलिस ने केंद्रीय एजेंसियों से बेहतर तालमेल बनाकर मुझे बताती हुई खुशी है कि चंद घंटों के अंदर ही इन तीनों आतंकियों को पिपरिया में दबोच लिया। इनका मास्टरमाइंड था अतीफ मुजफ्फर। ये कानपुर का रहने वाला था। इसके साथ मोहम्मद दानिश जो कानपुर का निवासी था और सैयद मीर हुसैन जो कन्नौज का निवासी था। ये दोनों भी पकड़े गए।
That's the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Remember, the first arrest happened in Madhya Pradesh, and this is usually not the way the Indian security apparatus works. Remember, a tip-off coming from the Intelligence Bureau being tracked actively by the police in Telangana and Kerala, followed up on the ground in Madhya Pradesh, the encounter finally in Lucknow. This is an operation of huge scale. PK Mishra is a former security official. He's joining us this morning. Mr. Mishra, the details that we just read out seem to suggest that the Indian intelligence agencies were tracking these suspected terrorists for a very long while before deciding to move in yesterday.
Yes, Rahul, I listen to your question. It's very nice that the tracking was done for the last few weeks, and they definitely zeroed in. They wanted to capture all of them alive. But I can well tell you that this module, Khorasan module of ISIS, led by Saifullah, they made a trial run. Their first action, they took it and at the Sapur train blast. And that is how they zeroed in because of the persons those who divulged at Piparia. They zeroed in on Saifullah and the location was given at Lucknow, and instead of losing time, it is nice of it that the ATS of Madhya Pradesh and ATS of Lucknow and both the state police organizations and so also of IB and NIA, they grouped together, and very nice information sharing by all these security agencies. They zeroed in, and I can well tell you the operation which took place also without any casualty from the security side. It proves that yes, this radicalization of the youths in UP which has now taken place cannot be taken lightly, that we have to sit quiet about it, because we were only thinking about Kerala, Maharashtra, Hyderabad and Jammu and Kashmir.
Absolutely.
It's not that.
We cannot take this lightly. Kamaljeet Sandhu is joining us. She was part of that high-level briefing. Kamaljeet, from the details that you've just flashed, it seems that the Indian intelligence apparatus was tracking these suspects for a long time before finally zeroing in on them yesterday.
Well, absolutely. Since ISIS threat has come on the face of India, several agencies have been working on it, but specifically ISIS has emerged as a new threat. They're not only transnational but trans-organizational in the sense that they obviously try and regroup into different groups as well. But here is a specific case where they've managed to track down. And remember, this is where security forces, intelligence agencies working in tandem, and whether it was information which came in from Kerala, from Telangana, from Madhya Pradesh, acted upon by UP ATS. This is extremely important, Rahul, because remember, the phase is how now ISIS is managing to target infrastructure of railways. The first explosion taking place in that Bhopal train, saying this was just a trial explosion. Then thereafter, operations taking place in Kanpur, in Piparia, where crucial arrests have been made. We've been told that 2 terrorists are still on the run. They've been a lookout for that. We're also talking about how the Amir of the module has been arrested. He is a man who's called Atif Muzaffar, and he's going to be spilling beans later to investigating agencies. But at this point of time, crucial arrests have been made. The lookout for 2 more. But what is important, Rahul, is in the past 2 to 3 years since the Modi government has come in, they've tried to downplay the
Daljit
ISIS
Chaudhary
threat.
is the Additional Director General Law and Order. He's joining us this morning. Mr. Chaudhary has been giving regular updates on the current status of the encounter. Mr. Chaudhary, you've had a long night. Appreciate you joining us this morning. Can you begin by telling us about the latest situation? Is the siege in Lucknow now totally over?
Yeah, absolutely, it's over. It was over in the night itself. And the overall recovery so far is that we have recovered quite a lot of weapons from there. About 8 weapons have been recovered. And a lot of currency, gold, and a lot of cartridges and banking material have been recovered. So we have to now see who was the person behind it, who was sourcing it, and what were their plans. Now everything has to be done in a very, very methodical manner now, since this is a big amount. This is, I guess, is a big recovery made, and this shows the plans of this gang also.
Sir, you'd permit me to ask this one question. And it's being asked again and again, why yesterday? Because today is the day of polls. A lot of opposition parties especially are saying that if the agencies have been tracking this module for so long, why did you sweep in just yesterday? What do you have to say to that, sir?
See, the real incident happened in Madhya Pradesh yesterday, and the input came to us from Telangana, right?
Okay.
So the moment the input come to us, the intelligence thing came to us, immediately we organized a couple of teams and started raiding places. So we have raided not only Lucknow, we have raided Etawah, we have raided Auraiya, we have raided Kanpur. Everywhere we have arrested people. In this very raid, that there was a resistance, and it took us quite a long time to actually neutralize the person. So eventually now, after a long search, we have recovered a lot of weapons and ammunition and other objectionable material. So now we have to work on it again. So, and also have to coordinate with Madhya Pradesh police and Telangana police.
It's fantastic
so
how these police forces work together. Usually, there's always this battle for credit, one police force wanting to, steal the show. It's not very often that Kerala, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh work together, showing how at least some of this inter-departmental, inter-agency cooperation is finally beginning to fall into place.
Oh, yes, of course, that was always there, but at times people look for credit. But this time it is absolutely 100% a teamwork, and all the inputs came from outside, as I said. And we are very, very thankful to Telangana as well as Madhya Pradesh police for sharing the inputs, timely inputs, because the kind of planning which we now apprehend was very dangerous. So now the major, some great spectacular event has been averted.
Also, tell me, sir, how many suspects do you believe could still be on the loose?
Actually, all the suspects who were there on the list have been taken care of.
No, because there were some reports which said that there were some people who were with Saifullah in the same rented house in Lucknow's Thakurganj, that they could possibly be on the loose right now?
No, out of 4, Saifullah remained behind, and the rest of them had gone out to execute what had happened in Madhya Pradesh in the train blast incident. So all three guys who had went out, they have all been arrested by the Madhya Pradesh police.
Okay, tell me also, sir, what do you think they were planning? Any word on that? What kind of an operation or what kind of a strike were they working
that
towards?
Is something which we need to work on, and we are working on it. We have clues also, but then I can only tell such things only after...
Sure, no, we don't want you to reveal any operational details or any sensitive details, only what you think is appropriate to share with our viewers. Yeah. What kind of recoveries have you made, sir?
Recoveries, we have recovered about 8 pistols and about 600 cartridges, gold, cash, bomb-making material, and other things.
And this is interesting because so far, you've had lone wolves of the ISIS, so just a very small pack. There's never been an interstate ISIS module that's been busted. That's happened with the Lashkar, the Hizb, that's happened with the Indian Mujahideen, even the Simi. It's never happened with the ISIS in this way.
Yes, of course. I mean, this kind of planning which they were undergoing and the kind of radicalization which has happened to them, and you have seen the way they have got hardened. So they were ready to give their lives, and they had fired about 60 rounds on the commandos. This shows that they were very hardened criminals, hardened, radicalized youth, And now, yes, of course, this is an eye-opener and we have to work again.
Okay, I don't want to hold. I have so many more questions for you, but I realize that you have a very, very packed day, so I'll let you go. Thank you very much, Daljit Chaudhary, Additional Director General Police. And this again is one of the big differences we're seeing now, Ajit. Earlier, there wouldn't be an official available. There'd be all kinds of rumors, WhatsApp messages doing around. Now, this gentleman's been on India Today. I've interviewed him thrice since yesterday. He's been on our sister network, Aaj Tak. Prompt, precise information coming in. And remember, this is the UP police. Javed Ahmed has given him this responsibility. So there's finally some method to the anti-terror operation, which is quite incredible, given what we've seen in the past. And also one of the things that you were saying, why is it happening yesterday? Look at what he said. There was a terror attack or an attempted attack in a train in Ujjain yesterday, which is what sparked this. And therefore, sitting here as armchair journalists, criticizing and wondering why is it happening a day before the polls is really, really doing a great disservice to these brave men of the Indian security forces who are risking so much to keep us safe.
But what I wanted to say is that, look, turnout in eastern UP is lower than in western UP, sharply, about 6% difference. Obviously, this kind of incidence is going to have an impact on turnout. It is going to sort of affect free-floating voters because look at the entire UP elections, not a single case of violence in the entire 7 phases. This is the first case where it would be considered as a law and order problem. So obviously this is going to have an impact to some extent. How the impact will pan out is difficult to predict.
I've got some breaking news coming in that a 4-member team of the NIA has reached Ujjain. They've reached the spot where the terror attack took place, or the attempted terror attack took place. Also, a National Investigation Agency team has reached Lucknow, where the operation was on all through the night. That's the latest information. The Ministry of Home Affairs being proactive, rushing teams both to Bhopal and to Lucknow. Let's just for a moment focus on Western Uttar Pradesh, because remember, Prashant, you were in Varanasi. Javed was in Varanasi as well. A lot at stake in Varanasi for the BJP. Do you think the Prime Minister's 3 days in Varanasi made a difference?
I think it did, in the sense that, the people in Banaras had been asking that we elected the Prime Minister. We've had fleeting glimpses of him, but where has he been? And I think this was one attempt by the Prime Minister to personally reach out to as many people as possible through his roadshow, through his walk across gullies of Banaras. And of course, just, I think that personal outreach would have helped. But I think it also, the flip side of this is that it provoked this question among many: why is the Prime Minister spending 3 days here? Does it smack of desperation? Is the BJP vulnerable here?
Rakesh,
so I think there were both
BJP
sides
can say what it pleases. A lot of critics will say the fact that he's had to sweat so much over 3 days in Varanasi shows at the deepest level they're concerned. They're anxious maybe, but they're concerned about what may happen in Varanasi.
Definitely, UP, for BJP, UP is very important, and Prime Minister is the face of the party. And if he spends 3 days, it hardly matters. It is the prerogative of the party that Prime Minister should campaign or not campaign. Second most important thing is that Prime Minister has some kind of emotional attachment with Varanasi. He is moving in the streets not because for the votes only. You see, after becoming the Prime Minister,
the live images you're seeing are from the Somnath temple. The Prime Minister is in Gujarat, and again, you can say that this is, of course, the Prime Minister's schedule. It was a very high voltage televised event, and it's happening on the day of the last phase of polling in Uttar Pradesh. It's all very smartly planned out. None of this is, he could have been at Vigyan Bhavan addressing scientists today. Instead, he's at the Somnath temple. It's all part of a grand strategy. Javed.
Well, indeed it is, and to take the point that yes, it's the Prime Minister's constituency.
Around the Uttar Pradesh.
So there was another message that it is actually both the thing. There is a Nirguna and there is a Sarguna.
No,
he was only serving the Sarguna, that is actually the deities of Hindus. He left Ravidas, he left Sarnath, he left Kabir. There is also a divide within Varanasi which nobody sees.
Don't make a binary in a
it is there.
In
it is
political
there.
system,
It is
because
happened.
entire BSP politics
in the Varanasi
entire
itself,
BSP politics is based on creating identity. You cannot create sub-identities in India.
2,500 years old history of Sarnath. How can you actually decimate that?
No, let me complete.
You are just decimating all that history.
Vivekji, let me complete. I think that Prime Minister has sent a message to entire
That's what
Uttar
message I
Pradesh,
got.
Uttar Pradesh. You send
I
your
have
message.
got this
Mayawati
message.
is sending message that she is getting defeated. She is in third position, so it is the frustration of the Bahujan Samaj Party. Because Bahujan Samaj Party, a large part of the Bahujan Samaj Party social base is shifting to BJP. Because Bahujan Samaj Party could not reconcile the sub-identity, Dalit sub-identities. It has become a part of the Dalit identity. That is the problem.
Your sense of these images coming in, all of it very carefully choreographed. This is of course live, I can see the other networks as well, live images virtually on every channel, and the Prime Minister is entitled to do this. There's nothing wrong, there's a lot of planning that's gone in, but he's perfectly entitled to do this. And the question that Vivek is asking, that he spent 3 days in Varanasi, the BJP's response is he's the MP from Varanasi, he should care more about Varanasi than he does about other constituencies.
365 days a year, not just 3 days before the elections.
One important point here is being missed out, which is the SP Congress entire slogan was UP ke ladke versus Bahari. Now the Prime Minister kept sort of replying that Varanasi is my Karm Bhumi. So he had to prove that he belongs to UP.
Ajit, only in the last leg. Only in the last leg.
No,
there
he
were
was
5
there.
legs also.
Okay, we have a lot to talk about. It's an interesting question. The BJP has an answer, but those questions don't go away. Make no mistake. We're getting these live images from the Somnath temple, Amit Shah, the Prime Minister at the Somnath temple with Kushabhai Patel. Keshubhai Patel is also there right next to him. That's interesting. The fact that he's been a foe, he's been a friend, now he's right next to the Prime Minister. Also, this is the year of the Gujarat elections. The moment UP gets over, attention shifts to Gujarat.
So Gujarat has already commenced.
Javed is saying that the campaign for Gujarat has just started. The Prime Minister's at the Somnath temple right now. We'll come back live. We have a lot to track this morning, and it's all happening here, right here on India Today. Stay with us. We're back in a few minutes.